the weather got bad. Well, bad, I mean it's raining. But it got cold last night and it's supposed to dip down again tonight. So I brought all my little seedlings in and they are on the floor. I've got my tomato starts down here and they are just beautiful and lovely. They're getting quite tall. These guys up here, we'll pull them down and show you how they're doing. My pepper seeds are finally growing. These are what's left in my tomatoes, and you can see they're doing really well in these tiny little bubbles that they have. I stick them outside on really nice days without their lids, and yesterday was a really nice day. It was a very mild temperature, bright sun, but mild temperature, and so I stuck them outside and that really did help. But I'm gonna have to transport these. As you can tell, they're getting really leggy. So let's undo the side. Take a look. These are my tomatoes. The ones that I left in that were either not sprouting yet or were just too small. And as you can tell, what came up and what didn't come up. So like this guy, there's nothing there. Those two, that one. But this guy finally came up. And when I moved these guys out, this one was not up. Same with this one here. And still that one. These two are very short. Those are some crimson, black crimson. These are the sweet cherry, no, I'm sorry, the rainbow ones, the sweet cherries all had come up there in the buckets. But I don't know if you remember, but I had planted just a couple in each of these just to kind of give more of a start to them out there outside when I transplant them. But they're doing really well, and as you can see how long they're getting here, they really need to get into deeper pots and some with drainage, so I don't have to continue to spray them. But so I think tomorrow we'll see, if not today, these guys will get transported out, because now they are just touching the top of the egg carton with their little leaves. They're doing really well. And then I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that didn't do anything. Oh, sorry, 6 that didn't do anything. So what I'm thinking is I might go ahead and, since it's still early enough, I'll go ahead and replant that so that I have them. Because especially this brandy red and yellow blend, I really want a lot of those. And if only 3 of them come up, I want to make sure I have plenty of the varieties of colors and flavors when we're cooking. Okay, on to the peppers. See if I can do this with one hand, you guys. It's really hard. I'm going to do this over just a little. Last thing I want to do is knock these off onto the floor. That would just be devastating. These took a little bit longer. As you can tell, they're much shorter. They are doing really well in here. Let's see what has gone very well. So the chili pepper or the cayenne blend is here. So that's a mix of cayenne. The santakas are doing good. I have all 5 of them. My habanadas, all but 1 came up so far. My jalapenos, all but 1. Oh, nope, I lied. It is coming up. Can you see that guy right there? So all of my jalapenos. My sweet Jimmy Nardellos, all but 2 have come up, so I may take the time and replant those. And then my sweet Golden California Wonders, I have 3 out of the 5 pots that have come up. And again, I'll just give these a little bit more time. I might have, oh, you know what? I did miss. I was wrong on the habanada. I am missing one. So the ones that I'm missing, I will try again. And we'll see if we can get that. I want a lot of peppers. I want a lot of tomatoes. I just want a lot of salsa this year. See where I'm going with that? So all of my empty pots, I'll just go ahead and replant those. I brought these up to the table so that I could show you. Do you see this? It has created its own rainforest. I watered them once when I planted them, so you saw that in an earlier video. I have not watered them since. The ground is wet, or the moisture is perfect in there. And actually I ended up having to drain out some of the water, even though they all sat in direct sunlight for the last 2 or 3 days. They just created their own fabulous little ecosystem in here. As you can see through there, we have some growth. I think I only planted these 5 days ago, and in 2 days I could see beans coming up. Now, beans don't take very long. Beans and peas are really quick. This is a sugar pumpkin. I haven't opened it up to see where we're at with these guys. I don't know. They take a little bit longer. So let's open it up and see. Nothing so far in the sugar pumpkins except for this little guy right there that's trying. And I'll bet you if I move some stuff away, you'll see that things are working their magic in here. These are just the perfect little environment. Okay, so I lied. They are coming up. They're coming up quite nicely. These little teeny tiny environments are working really well. And you know, I had realized, and probably some of you are wondering, what did I plant in my tiny little greenhouses? My little seed starting greenhouses. Well, I'm going to tell you. I started the bush beans, the Jade variety. I did small sugar pumpkins in this one. So again, each of these have 6. So I'll get 6 plants out of this. I'll bring the other ones up to the table and I will show you what I planted in those. Okay, so I brought them all up to the table, and some of them have no growth in them, but they take a little bit longer to germinate, and some of them do. But I'll give you the variety and then I'll list it down at the bottom, because I realized when I made the earlier video, I forgot to tell you what I planted in these. I think I told you the first one and that was it. So again, I've got my Jade green beans. I've got small sugar pumpkins in these 2 right here. And we'll just go over here. I've got Honeydew Melons in here. And I think I saw one little guy poking up. Yep. Doing really good in here. The soil is nice and moist. It's looking good. But I've got Honeydew in here. In this one, I've got Sugarbaby Watermelons. These should be smaller watermelons, more like the single. They'll have seeds in them. Nothing's quite happening in these just yet. They take a little bit more time. These have green cantaloupes, which are kind of a different variety than you see in your regular grocery store. But I didn't see anything in here just yet. But I didn't really go digging around. They might just take a little bit more time. That's okay. We will just be patient. Like I said, I only planted these just, I don't know, 4 or 5 days ago. I'll have to look back at my notes. These ones are really exciting right here. These are my Rattlesnake pole beans. And these, they're looking so gorgeous. Look at those guys right there. Look at you just budding out so beautifully. You liking your environment? I guess so. So I got 4 out of the 6 that I can see. Although if you pull back the dirt, right there you can see that one. I don't see really any movement in this one. It may mean that I need to replant it, but we will give it more time. Each and every one of us kind of mature at different rates now, don't we? So who's to say these seeds aren't the same? Okay, let's go around the table. This is my bush beans. This is a Contender variety. And I really don't have any movement in here that I can see just on the surface. But if you pull back, there's one right there. I love all the different varieties. They all taste a little different. And so I'm really excited to kind of give taste tests. And we'll probably do that this summer, especially with the kids. We'll see which ones they like. One of my favorite things to do is see which ones taste best straight from the plant and which ones I would much rather cook. Okay, this is a Clemson spineless okra. And wouldn't you know it, somebody's poking out right there. I'm really excited to grow okra. Okra doesn't grow very well in the Northwest, so here on the East Coast, I'll bet you I've got some really yummy okra. And not very many people in my family like okra. My mom loves them and my son loves it pickled. So we'll make some okra. Okay, this is the Blue Lake bush beans. Oh, I already showed you these ones. Did I? No, I didn't. But here's the Blue Lake bush. I know, it's hard. I can't remember all the things. I think I pushed those ones back. Oh, the jade ones are the ones I showed you before. Okay, and then this one's Pickling Cucumbers. Man, look at those guys. Already have leaves on them. Like they're trying to win the race. I think they're winning. Look at that. Such beauties. Now, if I had all of my canning supplies here with me, look at that. There's one hiding in there. They're all going to come up. If I had my canning supplies with me, we would be planting way more than just 6 sweet little plants. And my goal, and a lot of these are climbing and viney and all that kind of stuff, and I have to be careful where I plant them, how I plant them, and what I plant them on outside, because even if it's a rainy day, but out on my garden, I am going to need to plant things that they can grow up on, otherwise they will grow up on the other plants, and we don't want that. So that is the state of these beautiful plants. And again, here are my babies, my little sweet tomato babies, all of that. They're just looking really good. I'm gonna pull one out so you can kind of see. Let's pull this one out. They've grown quite a bit from the teeny tiny little start that we transplanted over. They've grown up, each of them have grown up about an inch or so, and I would say these guys are about 4 more days old than when I put them in here. So they've done a whole inch worth of growth in 4 days, which is amazing. But I will, when it's nice, I will take these guys outside and have them out in the sunshine, just lapping it up, and then I bring them in at night. And actually, they will be in probably for the next 2 days. I think there's colder temperatures for the next 2 days, and then all this rain. So it's not warming up very much during the day, and they're so tender and young. These guys I just planted 2 days ago, and there's no movement in them. These have a bunch of different varieties. Flowers in one tray, and some brassicas in the other. And that will take a little bit of time. They are perfect in their sweet little environment here with this nice little tray, and then of course they have an under tray filled with, or not filled, but has water in the under tray, so they will stay nice and moist. I want to make sure as they're growing, so I probably will go in and just double check that the seeds aren't getting too wet and sitting there and rotting, so that I don't have mush. I actually have viable seeds, but so far they're doing really good. Well, thanks for coming along with my follow-up. I hope you're enjoying all of these videos on my little plant babies. I'm hoping that it's inspiring to you even a little bit to just try. Even if you had just one tray like this, that you started tomatoes, peppers, maybe some basil. That's one of my next projects, is to do some herbs. But even if you started something like this in your house and then transferred them to a pot like this, where our Mr. Basil plant has been planted, you know, you can supplement some of your grocery costs by doing that. And really, this is just an egg tray. We already had to buy eggs because we don't have chickens this year. We had to buy eggs, so we bought, and this was a perfect tray to start these little seeds in. And even though I'm transporting these guys from this to the smaller pot and then to the garden and or a bigger pot, you could take these little teeny guys directly from here to a big pot like this and stick it in a kitchen window or in a sliding glass window or something like that that gets direct sunlight, and still have something grow in your home. If maybe you have a porch or a patio, you could put it out there, but it doesn't have to be in the ground in order for you to be a successful gardener. So with that, I hope this is an encouragement. I hope this helps. And I hope that you are inspired to go out and grow something of your very own. It's not too late. You have plenty of time to start things indoors and have them grow and be fruitful for you this spring and summer. With that, Basil and I are going to say blessings to you, and we'll see you next time.